Alright, hey everyone, my name is Natalie. First off, I want to thank you all for the wishes about my surgery. I'm feeling much better, and I'm really excited to get back with the Tap Brothers to show you another tutorial. So this week what we're going to focus on are 2 more fundamentals of parkour. We're going to be learning about landing and jumping properly. We're going to focus on some exercises as well as some drills. And then at the very end, we're going to give you some conditioning moves to really work on, you know, those quads, strengthening your legs, your gluteus maximus, your hamstrings, all that good stuff, so that you have dynamic jumping and that you have some preventative maintenance for your knees taking all that impact. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Keely, who's going to be helping me out today. Woo! She was here last week and she did awesome, and I can't wait to work with her again today. Well, not really again, I mean for the first time, whatever. So, cut! Okay, so we're going to start with a basic exercise where we're doing a slow motion version of how we should land, and then we're just coming up kind of testing out how stable and controlled our muscles are. So we're going to start with feet apart, about shoulder width. You know, obviously if we're doing precisions, most people tend to keep their feet together when they're landing. But for right now, we're going to start shoulder width. We're going to go up a little bit on our tippy toes, but not too high, just so that, you know, you have enough control. You're going to start squatting down. You can keep your arms out in front because it will help with control. You're going to squat down, probably go to about right here. You can hold it if you want, seeing how controlled and stable. Are your ankles stable, that kind of stuff. And then you can come back up, nice and slow. How'd that feel? Feel great. Yeah!
Feel it burning.
Yeah, so you can use this as a conditioning exercise. You know, obviously you don't want to squat all the way down. You don't want to squat down and then come to that relaxed position, because when you have that force of landing, you could really hurt your knees a lot. And here, you know, having that nice control when you come down, because as soon as you next week when we talk about rolling, when you land, you'll go right into that roll from that squat position, because we're absorbing all of that energy from our jump. Alright, so our next exercise will be tuck jumps down to that position that we just talked about, that squat, nice and controlled all the way down. I've already shown Keely, with the help of the Tap Brothers, how to do this exercise because I can't physically show you yet. So we're going to do 5 of them. We're going to show Keely from the front and then also the side angle so that you guys can see the technique of how you should be doing it. So Keely's going to start, you know, shoulder width apart. She's going to jump like she would, tucking her knees up to her chest and then coming down into a nice controlled squat. Okay, no, it's alright.
I think it's 4. Yeah.
Okay, and then we're going to go from the side and just see. Next thing we're going to do are jumps. We're going to focus on jumping now and the position of our arms. Last week, the Tap Brothers worked with Keely on precisions, and that's kind of basically what we're going to do right here using these lines in the concrete already. So, you know, obviously, you can do it with Keely. All right. Obviously, you know, you're going to want to start right here, but our position of our arms is also very important when we're jumping. So if we have our arms here, you know, we start about right here, we kind of wind up and bring our arms back. And when we jump, we're going to jump, you know, off our toes, but we're going to bring our arms up this way. They don't have to be up here, but if, you know, obviously if you jump like this, okay, I almost died. That was scary. But, you know, obviously if you don't use your arms, you're not going to get as much power or momentum. So, we're going to jump to that line out there, focusing on making an arc with our jump. That's where we're going to have the most control, getting our feet out in front of us a little bit more. Same on our toes, absorbing that landing. So, Keely, I'm going to have you jump to that line. Good. Let's do it one more time. You can come right back. Yeah, you can come back. Good. And notice how she actually spots the line with her eyes too. It really does help to see, you know, to see where you're going to be landing. Alright, so our next exercise will combine landing and jumping. Now we're gonna increase the height, not so high that we're gonna need to roll, but Keely's gonna come up on here. It's a little bit lower than her knee. And what she's gonna do is exactly what she did last week. She's gonna swing that top leg like this. She's gonna drop down into a nice controlled landing. Okay? She's gonna do that about 5 times. She doesn't need to jump out of it, just swinging that leg to bring her out. Okay. With these exercises, we're just focusing on control of our body. Because if we have the fundamentals down, then we can slowly start increasing the height and the distance of our jumps so that our landings are controlled. Is that 5?
I think that was 5. It was 5 actually.
Okay, so now I'm gonna have Keely jump. She's not just gonna swing her leg, she's actually gonna jump. Because this is so low, the impact's not gonna be that much on her knees. Keely's an athlete anyway, so, increase your height based on how your body feels. Don't jump off something really, really high if you don't think that you have that controlled landing yet. But when Keely jumps off of this, her goal is trying to stay even with right here. So she's gonna jump more out and up than straight up and straight down. She's not gonna wanna land right here because that impact is just extra stuff that we don't need. And eventually when you add a lot of height, you watch those guys jump off really high stuff, they're jumping out. So far out that when they land, it's just their momentum's pretty much absorbed. So for Keely, I'm probably gonna have her jump maybe about like right here. And yeah, let's make it controlled because, having to actually stick something requires more control of our muscles than just jumping and then running through. So we'll do it 5 times. Okay. And obviously when we're landing, we want to be as quiet as possible. And notice here how Keely hangs her toes off here? That's not a bad thing to do. Obviously she's going to pitch herself forward and kind of get that extra oomph by pushing off of the bench. But just be aware that you check your surroundings and that this bench isn't like wobbly and when you jump you're going to die. The next thing that I want to do with Keely is we've been doing a lot of just precision. So I'm going to actually show Keely how to do more than just one jump in a row. We're going to actually jump from low to high. So it teaches us how to use our dynamic jump, but also how to get ready for our next jump, okay? So Keely's gonna do that simple like swing down to her landing, but as she lands, she's gonna already have her arms back here ready to do the next jump. Remember that positioning that we talked about in the beginning when we were doing the precisions? On the flat ground, our arms are here and then they're back and then they come up. So what Keely's gonna do is Keely's gonna jump down and she's gonna jump down maybe to about the middle and then she's gonna jump up to here. Now, anytime you're jumping up onto anything higher than maybe your comfort level or your strength, you need to make sure that you jump and get your knees up because the worst thing you want to do is catch those toes and then topple over onto your face. Okay? So I'm gonna have Keely go now. Good. And she had a very nice controlled landing when she came up. Hey, we can actually come back on that too if you want.
Oh, good. They're going back this way?
You can do both. Yeah, maybe the next one you'll do. Alright. Good. And then you can just turn right around and do it again. Good. Okay, so I just want to let you know that all of these exercises and drills that we did today with Keely can be used for conditioning as well as just, regular exercises to work on your parkour movement. So in terms of reps, do 10 to 12 of them, and maybe after 5 it's too easy. Increase the distance or increase the height. Just do it based on how you're feeling. And that's what's great about parkour is you can scale so much of these activities. So now we're gonna move on to some specific conditioning exercises. So the first exercise we're gonna do are mountain climbers. The mountain climbers that I'm gonna have Keely do, I'm gonna have her do 20. I would have you do 20 as well. Obviously I'm not gonna have her do all 20 right now. It's gonna take a lot of time. But really when we're doing this mountain here without smacking your knee onto the ground and keeping, you know, about a 90 degree angle with your leg. And then you're gonna wanna jump really big, no bullshit jumping. Do not put your hand right here on your knee. Okay, we wanna keep our chest up and jump and switch and just come down nice and controlled. Then you'll jump again. All right, so the next the next conditioning move we're gonna do are toe raises or calf raises, however you wanna call them. So what I'm gonna have Keely do, it's always great if you have, you know, either someone to hold on to, I'll let Keely hold on to me, or a tree or something. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna put your feet together. And you're gonna wanna go all the way down so that you're stretching your Achilles. So all the way down to relaxed position. And then you're gonna go all the way up. But trying not to let your ankles roll out to the side like that. Okay, yeah, it's trying to stay on the ball of your foot underneath your big toe. So you'll want to do that about 15 times, going all the way down and up nice and slow as you can. You'll feel a nice burn in your calves. So the last conditioning exercise I'm going to show you looks kind of awkward, so you may want to do it in the comfort of your own home and not in the park where everyone's going to look at you and be like, what is she doing? Or he. So it's called a fire hydrant. I'm sure you're picturing in your mind a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, because I would. But basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna get down on the ground, and this actually works your IT band and part of your butt, which is really important when you're jumping. And I'll show you a stretch later to stretch out this area and buy that foam roller and roll out the sides right here and your quads, because jumping and landing puts a ton of impact on your body. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna get like this. Yes, I know. It's awkward. And your goal here is to just raise your leg up. I can't even do this seriously.
There's the fire hydrant.
Yeah, it's a fire. See, you imagine a fire hydrant. You imagine a fire hydrant right here, and you're going like this, and you're bringing it back down, nice and slow. Okay? I mean, geez, I'm doing like 5, and it's already burning. So do like 10 on each side, and then once you start to get more advanced, what you can actually do is bring it out, point it, bring it back in, and come down. Now, obviously, you're trying to keep everything nice and level. Come back down. Really just feel the burn. It's like we're with Susan. I'm going to show you a stretching exercise to stretch out that area that we just worked. You guys probably have seen it in yoga, so just bend up your knee. I'm actually really not that flexible. You're gonna bend, oh my god. Bend that across, trying to get your body as close as you can to your leg. Keely, yeah, look at Keely. Look at Keely more, because I can't do it. But yeah, you'll feel that stretch right here. I want to thank you guys and girls for tuning in for this week's Tuesday tutorial, and I want to thank Keely. Today again, just to go over some stuff, we worked on landings and jumping. And next week we're going to focus on rolling, which I think is probably the most important thing about parkour. Because if you can't roll properly, you're not going to be able to jump off higher things and really have that control, even when you're doing flips and whatnot. But yeah, anyways, I hope to be back at least to like 70% next week while I continue to heal up from surgery. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, anything, feel free to post them, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.